Possum stew, possum stew. It's bloody good for you. Wrap your laughing gear around a bowl of possum stew. It's actually not possum stew, it's bloody vegetable stew, and it looks like shit. It looks fucking horrible. It doesn't taste much better either, but I eat it. I eat it every day. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. If you've got heart disease, or you've got cancer, or both, like in my case, because cancer's always there, it's always, never goes away, you have it in remission. If you have heart disease, then you need to be on a Nutritarian diet. Let me just show you a picture that will clarify what I'm trying to say. We won't talk about the science, we won't try and spout and say what you should do. Here's just a reality check. Okay, so on this side here, we've got, which one's the one that's looking in bad shape? One of these pictures. I think it's this side here. I'll get my glasses so I can see. But you'll clearly see this is the left detenary artery that descends, known as the LAD, L-A-D. So that picture there on that side there, that is one that's quite occluded. And you can see that the narrowing there, right there, look how narrow it is. Well, that's what I was like probably about 18 months ago. I needed to have a stent put in there. Mine was actually a bit down further in that part of the heart. It wasn't quite that part, but I needed a stent. My artery was that occluded. This is the same artery here. I think it's 3 years later with no medical intervention in the way of statins. That's just on a whole plant-based diet. Does that give you an idea why I've got a fridge that now looks like this and there ain't no possum stew anymore? See that? There's no oils in there. There are eggs because I've got chickens, but that's for my guests. There is butter because I have given it to my guests, but because I'm mending my endothelial, this is a superfood, this here. It's actually now classed as one of the best superfoods in the world. And we've got heaps of it in New Zealand. Watercress. Nardo beans. Nardo kinase pulls the calcium out of your arteries and puts it into your bones. Now there's no real clinical tests that are definitive on that, but we just know that from studies of people that have less heart disease, so we go on that. Made that, I didn't make it, my nurse made that. That's hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry creates nitric oxide, gives you that vasodilation, opens everything up. And a whole fuck ton of vegetables. Oh, turmeric, got to have turmeric every day, look at that beauty. I didn't grow that, I bought that off my mate Gerard. He's got that in his shop. So, that's one thing we know about heart disease. Oils that come from any sort of oil destroy the endothelial. What does the endothelial do? It creates vasodilation. It creates it from the nitric oxide. So you get a piece of this green, horrible, shitty stuff. There's kale in there. So kale needs to be cooked. Otherwise, it can actually be quite upsetting to you. Some plants try to protect themselves by doing mean shit to you. There's 6 different anti-nutrients. There's things like oxalates and arsenic and all sorts of things that aren't good in plants because they try to protect themselves. Smack into them in a pot. Steaming them is even better. And smack out those. I'll give you an example. A tomato is a good example of it can be your friend or your foe. A tomato, in that state there, has got lectins that can really upset your guts. Not everybody, but some people will find it's quite tough in their guts. It's from the nightshade family. If you're someone that suffers from, colitis, you don't want to eat these suckers. If you've got rheumatoid arthritis, you don't want to eat these things. However, if you cook this, you destroy the lectins. Take the skin off, and what you get is that you get lycopene. Now, lycopene has actually been clinically proven to help me with prostate cancer. Fuck, I wish I knew that like a few years ago. Foods, it's how they come. Take a banana. This is half a banana because it's eaten the other half. That's really healthy for you. You smack it into a blender. What you do is you destroy all of the fibre. Sucrose is table sugar. Fructose is what comes from fruit. And it's bad for you because it spikes your insulin. However, a banana by itself is bloody good. So it's all about the package. Anyway, this is the book you want to buy if you've got heart disease. I'm not going to go on about the science. Just read the book and cure yourself. I couldn't even walk up a hill 18 months ago. This weekend I've been pig hunting twice and it ain't no more possum stew for me. And I can hear the carnivores and the keto people out there. I was on the ketogenic diet for 5 years, so I know all about it. Going, oh, hold on a minute, you got to get your fats. Yeah, I know you got to get your fats. Hold that thought. Ta-da! I'm in a good mood this morning. I've been having a bad day yesterday and I fixed the problem. I'll talk about that maybe later or maybe not. Flaxseed and chia seed. A tablespoon of those every day and a walnut. Boom, there goes your EPA and your DHA for your omega-3. Right, enough of the lesson on nutrition. Google Dr. Carl B. Esselstyn. Read all his papers. If you've got heart disease, check that out. If you've got cancer, and let's face it, if you've got cancer, you've always got cancer. It's just in remission. You're never ever cured 100%. Look at Dr. Joel Furman, really good doctor. And I'll let those guys speak because I often come out with misinformation because I'm not educated. I just read what works for me, and I follow the science. But not just the science, the long-term studies with the hard endpoints. Because there's lots of fads out there, and I mean, look at the what was the diet where the guy died of a heart attack in the end of it, where it was lots of no carbohydrates and lots. It was like the ketogenic diet. Somebody comment below. Was the ketogenic diet similar to that? But forget it now. But that bloke actually died of a heart attack. I'm not surprised. So when I got cancer, I got prostate cancer, and no bloke wants that. That's fucking horrible. You don't want to get that, guys. You don't want to get that. My uncle died of that at the age of 59. And I was a bit stupid because I got it too. Dairy's the worst thing to give you that. Eat lots of those cooked bastards and you might not get it. That might help, but it's diet. It's a food-borne disease. We know that because in Japan, and they've got like 100 million people or something silly. In Japan in 1958, there was only something like 8 men that had prostate cancer that died of it. So it's mostly a food-borne disease. There are some genetic cancers, but most of them, the majority are food-borne. Right, this here's hot chili, like really hot for me mate Troy Dando. Woo! Gonna put that in and spice up the fake possum stew. My eyes are watering just by smelling that. That is gonna be hot. That's 330 Scovilles going in the pot. This has got every vegetable that I've got on the farm here. Literally everything. It's got corn, carrots. It's got 3 different types of kale. Russian kale, the curly kale. What else has it got in there? Silver beet, bok choy, cauliflower. Lots of horrible vegetables. I'm not a big fan of vegetables. I don't like this diet. I just like being alive and being able to take the boys hunting and run around the hills and have my health back. That's the point. I try to make it interesting by making it spicy, but I'd rather have bacon, eggs for breakfast any day. I do occasionally eat a bit of fish when I'm doing a primitive challenge, but that would be like, 99.9% of the other time, I don't. Because, okay mate, I've got to feed the ducks. I've got to do that, feed that duck, it's asking to be fed. The rest of the time, I just hold plant-based because I want to rebuild my endothelial. She's come up to tell me it needs a feed. She's sitting on eggs, so I'll do that. So how does that mechanism work? Well, without boring the tits off you, when you eat a piece of kale or silver beet or something green, it's got nitrogen in it. You chew it up, goes through the crypts of your tongue. The microbiome, these ducks are going to make it hard to explain this. The microbiome in your tongue, it mixes up with that there and it goes down to your guts. And I might not have this completely right, but basically the nitrogen becomes a nitrite. And the nitrite then, the endothelial turns that into nitric oxide. And the nitric oxide creates the vasodilation. So your veins and your basal pathways and your capillaries and your arteries, they open up and expand. So if you've got heart disease, that's why you need to go whole plant-based, and that will be a bloody good idea, a good start. So I got my LDL from 5.8 down to 2.9 in just 3 weeks, and now it's at 1.8. And the five drugs I was supposed to be taking, the statins, the beta blockers, the calcium blockers, the anticoagulants. What was the fifth one? Oh, there's the fifth one. I forget it now. There was 5 different drugs. Forget the fifth one. Oh, yeah, it's gone out of my head. Doesn't matter. Don't need it anyway. I don't take any of those. And the stent that I was supposed to have to open up that occluded artery, I didn't have that either. I cancelled that too because the pain stopped happening after I've been on the diet for like just 4 months. I don't really listen to my surgeon. I don't listen to my doctor. I just read these because those guys, they don't know anything about nutrition. They don't. They know about procedures and medications and pharmaceutical products because that's what they're taught, but they're not taught to where to get your stuff, you know. So just thought I'd share that with you. If you do have cancer, like I had, then all I can say is fasting is a great tool. Trouble is, for me, when I did my 3 years on 1 meal a day, is the amount of animal protein I had destroyed my endothelial. Well, it made it, not destroyed it, but it made it into a train wreck. And then I developed heart disease, and that's when I had to go in another direction. That's why I'm no longer on the ketogenic diet, for those of you that might wonder. Now, as per usual, sorry about that rocking around, as per usual, these are only my views, and I'm prepared to be wrong. I don't think I am wrong because I feel bloody good, and I don't have the sore heart. I don't even have the atrial fibrillation I used to have anymore. I'm classed as having paroxysmal atrial fibrillation. That's where it comes and goes. Well, maybe I have. It's definitely come, but now it's gone and it hasn't come back again. Maybe it does, but I haven't had it for months. So I'm not saying I won't, but right now I'm out of the woods. So brothers, if you do have heart disease, just do yourself a favour, read the book and live by it to a T. Once you switch on the disease mechanism of heart disease, they tell us that it can only get worse. If you read the science that's funded by the pharmaceutical companies and your doctor and your GP, they'll tell you that with drugs they can slow it down, but they can't make it better. Well, they're right in saying that you cannot get rid of the non-calcified plaque that's in your vasal pathways, but what you can do is the non-calcified plaque, that's the fat, dangerous one that can break off and cause a stroke or a heart attack. What you can do is you could make it so it recedes back. And it basically does, I think it calcifies, I'm not sure, but it goes back and becomes less. So it opens back up again. So you've still got it in there, yes, they're right about that, but it opens back up, the blood starts running. And if you're as unlucky as me and you've also had cancer and you've had a radical prostatectomy, where they've, there's the prostate, there's the bladder, and there's the old fella hanging down there. Okay, that's not the scale, because your prostate's as big as a walnut, and your bladder's bigger, and your penis, of course, you blokes, is way bigger than that, wouldn't it be? What they do is they cut the prostate out, and then they pull the penis up to the bladder, which basically makes your penis go half size. Every bloke wants to have that operation, don't they? Imagine an operation that makes your dick half the size. I really struggle with it. I really do struggle with living with just 6 inches today. I know it's like for all the other poor bastards. Anyway, that's one thing, erectile dysfunction, but then of course you've got to deal with the incontinence. Well, the good news is, on this diet, if you have erectile dysfunction, it's gonna sort that problem out, because the vasodilation that goes on, everything opens back up. So long as you've had a bilateral nerve-sparing operation on your prostate. So when they've whipped it out, they've actually been careful to spare your bilateral nerves. If they cut those, then you're probably going to have you're not going to get your stiffy, and you're not going to be able to make love to your woman. Horrible thought, eh? Yeah, well, I had 4 years of pretty much that, and now I've got it back. And hallelujah, it's back again. And you know when you lose your car keys, you can't find them, or something even more precious, and you can't find it, you feel so upset and like so fucked off, and then you find it, you get it back. Well, you imagine thinking you've lost something like that down there, and then you get it back. It's like, hell yeah, boy! It's just great, eh? I can't even just start to talk about what that was like, getting that function back. Anyway, brothers, this is only my ramblings, my thoughts, and yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but just thought I'd share it with you in the hopes that one of you, if you're out there, if you've got heart disease, it would help you, because it's definitely helped me. and there's plenty of science on it. I'm not here to say stop taking your drugs, stop listening to your doctor. I'm just saying I stopped taking my drugs and I stopped listening to my doctor. That's just me. Have a great day. Check on a brother, check on yourself. And I'm going to eat this shit now. That's what it tastes like. It goes pretty much in the same way it comes out. Actually, that's the other thing. You live on this diet, you poop really good, eh? But man, the amount of gas, fuck me. Yeah, tastes like shit. Tastes just like it looks. There's nothing that's going to make that exciting at all. Give me a piece of steak any day. But no, those days are over. Unless I'm in a survival situation where I've got to kill something to eat. Go steady. See ya.